Kelly, if you, as you know, you'll know she died in a very unfortunate car accident. If you look straight ahead, you see there's up to the mountain is a road going down, right? So just right behind the crane, there's like a big hairpin, and that's the exact spot where Grace Kelly had the accident. So you know, when she was the Princess of Monaco, she was staying at the palace in Monaco, but she also had a villa right on top of that mountain. You cannot see it. There's like a small village. It's called La Turbie. And so she was commuting every single week, you know, from La Turbie down to Monaco. And so one day, was in 1982, Grace Kelly was driving a convertible car, and she was driving with her youngest daughter. Straight ahead. So the car fell down like 45-50 meters down below the road after many roll-ups. So it was pretty bad, especially since it was a convertible car. And then by the time they got to the hospital in Monaco, Grace Kelly was dead already. And Stephanie, she was very severely injured. That she stayed almost 8 months at the hospital in Monaco, but then she survived, but not a mom. And so once again, in the old town, that's going to be our first stop. You have the cathedral, and that's where you have the grave of Grace Kelly. That's where she's buried. So just right, and by the end of the road, there's going to be a long tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel, we'll be in Monaco. That's the very last bit of France. So you
can move between France and like ground transportation between France.
Oh yeah. And you'll see like that. I will tell you once we're gonna cross the border, but it's not even toll gates, not even like customs or whatever, and it's a very seamless border. So, and otherwise. Officially in the country. All right, so real quick about the history of Monaco. So as I said earlier this afternoon, it was actually founded by the Greeks 1500 years before Christ.
After this tunnel, we reach
so by the way,
Monaco.
This is the western side of Monaco,
yeah.
Right? That's the western tip. And just right behind the gas station, you see there's a traffic light. This is France, right? So you're still at the border. And this part of Monaco is kind of like the central business district of the country. So it's mostly office buildings, right? So yeah, just wrap it up with the history. So 1815, Monaco really became a country, and but it was still surrounded by Italy, because at the time this part of the French Riviera was Italian. All the way to 1860, Treaty of Turin, when all those eastern cities permanently became part of France. So Monaco was still a country, but since then it was surrounded by France. And at the time, 19th century, there was all those wealthy tourists who were coming to the French Riviera, so mostly Nice and Cannes and Antibes, but none of them were going to Monaco. That was Attention, il y a des flics postés dans le tunnel en descendant à Monaco, en arrivant côté ouest, enfin en descendant de la basse corniche, moyenne corniche pour arriver sur Monaco. Il y a les flics dans le tunnel. Right, so we almost in the old town. So here is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna drop you inside the old town, right? So that way we just avoid the parking area, which is a big waste of time. But we have to be quick for the drop off. The palace, you will look to the right, you will see there's like a bunch of people standing in line. That's the lookout, right? Just right above the cliff. I mean, that's the edge of the cliff. And so you'll be overlooking the eastern side of Monaco with all the skyline and the marina, etc. Once you're done with the lookout and the palace, you just go back in from the palace, facing the palace still.
Now I'm on the old city tour in Monaco, and the interesting part is the Monaco flag is red and white, while Indonesian flag is white and red. So it's interesting on this old city walk. Yeah. Okay, this is the Palace of Monaco, Prince Albert, and these are the cities that is can see near the seaside, and you can see that there are numbers of ships, no, and yachts or whatever you call it. So these are the one that is Monaco. So finally we arrived this the Palace of Monaco, the Prince Albert. So it's a beautiful palace, as you can see right now. Yeah, they still got guard over here to guard this palace.